Good morning, and God bless you as we continue day 4 in our series on the tribe of Dan. So we study Dan, we see that they failed to take hold of the promise that God had given them. I don't want someone else taking what is mine because I won't fight for it. The tribe of Dan did not follow the plan that God had for them and take hold of the promise that was theirs. And we talked about yesterday that they had everything they needed to conquer and take that land, but they failed to do so. We see later in the scriptures that the tribe of Joseph rose up and came in and possessed the land that Dan wouldn't fight for. The tribe of Joseph now possessed Dan's promise. God has made exceeding great and precious promises to us in 2 Peter 1:4. He tells us he has promises for us, these exceeding great and precious promises. I don't know about you, but I don't want someone else taking my promise away from me. Hebrews 6:12 tells us that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises. We cannot be slothful, lazy, distracted when we're going after the promises that God has for our life. We need to fight for those promises. We need to fight in prayer. Don't be like Dan and get complacent living next to the promise. Oh, it may feel good once in a while to feel the presence of God. It may feel good maybe knowing that we have a promise. But I don't want to get content just getting by. I want to fight for what is mine. I want everything that God has for me. I don't want to be settling for just a little bit when God has so much great and precious promises for me. But I have to fight for them. I don't want someone else coming in and getting what is mine. Because I won't fight, because I'm content just getting by with a little bit. The Bible tells us the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the pulling down of strongholds. We have got to take a hold of what God has promised to us, what God has. We so many times will let the devil get away with too much in our homes, in our families, in our lives, because we won't fight. We just sit back and accept what the devil is doing. I don't know about you, but there is too much at stake. I am fighting for my family. I'm fighting for my home. I am fighting for this church because I want the promises that God has for us. We need to take the time to fight. We can't just sit by and say, this is what's happening. No, we have got to fight in prayer. This world needs us fighting in prayer and not becoming so complacent, not looking at what God has said is ours and just questioning it, because it's going to require a little bit more effort than just day-to-day existence. It's going to require us to pray more than just a little bit. It's going to require us to connect with God on a daily basis. We want to spend more time in entertainment, in temporary pleasures, in endeavors than we do in prayer, reading the word and seeking the face of God. What we take into our life is distracting us from the promise that God has. I don't want to get so complacent about what I'm living that I fail to recognize that God has a plan and a purpose and a promise, and I need to possess it. I don't want to be like Dan and watch somebody else come in and take what is mine. With God, all things are possible. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. I have these precious promises. There have been prophecies that have been spoken over your life, over this church, over this area, but we can sit back and we can just say, well, I don't know. We can make all kinds of excuses like the tribe of Dan did, and they failed to take hold of what God wanted them to have. If we can ever realize God wants us to have these great and precious promises, but we need to fight for them. And we're going to fight in prayer. We need to go to prayer. Can I encourage you today? Go to prayer and fight for the promise that God has given you until you are walking in its fulfillment. God bless you today.